Yeah, that would be. Hey, everybody!
Hey, everybody! I still hear the
We
music.
don't need more music. We just need to be here. Oh,
And we
welcome,
are.
everybody. I'm here with Fadi. Hello, Fadi.
What's up, everybody? Super excited to be here. This is going to be a very good one.
All right. Well, we have the chat is, oh my goodness, you people have already been talking and going over policy and figuring out nicknames and such. Excellent, excellent. Very good to have you here.
If I may add, I think the channel itself is the nickname. Like, Forest Dragons is what's cooler than that, right?
Oh, I kind of like that. That works. So, all right, everybody. Well, I got to show you, of course, as a celebration for this live session, we've got my Daffy's Reptiles shirt.
Hey, I love that. I didn't even. That's awesome.
Yeah,
He's
yeah.
been hiding that from me too, guys. I didn't see that either.
Design?
That is awesome. I love it. I love it.
Yeah. See, I ordered an official Daffy's Reptiles, and I don't know when it's going to get here. It's like it's taking. So you know what? Yesterday, I had to make my own.
So did you press the logo onto the shirt yourself?
Yeah,
that is awesome.
That's why I needed the vector drawing, the high res of your logo.
That makes sense. That makes sense. I was thinking, like, the original I sent, I was like, is that one good enough? Because I just take it off Canva and I remove the background. But no, I thought it was for the thumbnail. But this is even cooler.
Yeah. And you see, I've got this like Green Lantern type thing, because I cutting it around all the little shapes. No, I'm gonna do it a circle. That works.
It's because I'm a superhero. That's why.
Yeah, and it makes me feel a little bit more like a superhero myself. Maybe one day.
There you go. Love it.
All right, everybody in the chat, thank you very much for joining us here on this is the first live session for Misty Forest Dragons, and it's wonderful to have you there. And it's wonderful to have Fadi here as the inaugural live session. And
thank you very much for having me. I'm super excited.
Although this is actually an inaugural session for Fadi as well, this is the official first live for his channel.
Yes. So if this goes well, maybe we'll do some more lives.
Oh, okay, that works. So it's simulcasting. Now, everybody out there, this is the kickoff episode for an entire month of how to start your own YouTube channel. And so we're going to be having tutorial episodes every weekday at 1 p.m. Pacific, this exact time, throughout Monday through Friday. And so the whole theme here is doing YouTube. So I want this is interactive question and answer like we usually do. And so ask questions about YouTube. If you're interested in starting a YouTube channel, just ask what it's things you are wondering about, what it's like to start. If you're not interested in starting your own YouTube, go ahead and ask what it's like to be a YouTuber. And so don't be shy. Put questions in the chat, and I'll start asking questions, but we'll interrupt when you guys have questions yourself.
I think I may have some questions for you as well, Bill.
All right. Well, sounds good. Well, let's start off with the starting of your channel. I see, number one, you've got two channels.
Yes.
Daffy's Reptile started 4 years ago, and Daffy's Roundtable 3 years ago. How did you come to all of that?
Yeah, well, so first of all, I love the hobby. Like, love the hobby. And the more you can engage with the people in the hobby, the more you know. That's why I love doing the expos and doing all these things, is because the animals are awesome. I love the animals. Of course, that's why we're all here. But even the people in the hobby, just like-minded people, YouTube seemed to be the natural next step. And then, of course, there's never enough information that can be shared, right? So I'll give you mountain horn dragons for an example. When I first started keeping them a couple of years ago, there was some content out there. There was some, care guides online. There was some YouTube videos, but there were still some holes to be filled, I guess. You know what I mean? And as a hobbyist, as someone keeping them, you're obviously experimenting. Will this work? Will this not work? And why keep that knowledge to yourself when, somebody may come down 4, 5, 6 years down the line and be like, what's it like to keep mountain horn dragons? It's like, well, there's all the information for you. You don't have to go through the trouble that I went through. So that's really what it was. And creating the content is fun, and collaborating with people is fun. So it seemed like the natural next step in the progression of my hobby.
Okay. Now you have an interesting situation where you have two channels.
Yes.
And one of them started a year after the other one. So what was your
Yes.
thinking in breaking that up?
I feel like I could ask you the same thing, but I'll give you an answer first, and then I'm curious why you as well did something similar. So, um, my train of thought of having a second channel. Well, first of all, I wanted to start a podcast because, as much fun as editing and doing all that stuff is, and getting all the information into a 5 or 8 minute video, you can obviously share so much and learn so much more in an hour, an hour and a half, 2 hours, whatever. So I figured podcast would be the right way to do it. Plus, I get to interact with awesome people like yourself, and get information that way. So that was why I wanted to do the podcast. But the reason I didn't put it on the same channel, and to anyone listening, this may have been a mistake. This may have been a good thing. I still don't know. And I'll give you the pros and cons, I guess. But I feel like, or I felt like, certain pieces of content could affect other pieces of content. Like nobody really knows how the algorithm works, right? But like, for example, with Instagram, if I post a reel, and it gets 3-4K, and then the next reel does horrible and only gets like 400 views or even less, then I felt like the third reel, even though it was a better reel, would not do as well, if that makes sense, because it was affected by the views of the last one. And I didn't want that same thing to happen with YouTube. So so the train of thought was, if the podcasts are only getting 30, 40 views and the YouTube channel is getting whatever it is, 400, 500 views, I didn't want the algorithm to be like, no, 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 that channel's, or this video is not doing well, so your next couple won't do well. Now, again, I said, I don't know if this is actually the way the algorithm works, but that was the train of thought of putting it on a second channel. Now,
Okay.
that being said, I did start to notice that the audience and the people watching the podcast are not the same people that are watching the YouTube channel. So would it have been beneficial to get all those people and put them in the same place? Obviously, that would have boosted numbers, subscriber numbers, viewer numbers, all of that. I don't know. Or is it a con where having them all in the same place, somebody may not be interested in that specific podcast episode or that specific topic. Now it's doing worse for the other channel. But I'm gonna throw the question right back at you, because obviously you have Chameleon Academy, Reptile Entrepreneur, now Misty Forest Dragons. So what was your idea behind separating them and not putting them in the same place?
Okay, that's a big question. Now, you do me a favor. We have a troll that is on your channel, this Brickstars Fun. Can we just hit the 3?
Yes.
Yeah, just let's go ahead and ban that user. Just get
done. Done.
Thank you very much.
Yes, yes. This is about reptiles. This is reptiles and YouTube. That's all we're talking about.
Yes. No religion, no politics,
Correct.
or any of that kind of stuff. So,
Correct.
All right. My going on to a lot of different channels is because I have a different channel for each market. And I come from a marketing background, and so product marketing. And so I'm very much into, okay, this is going to go to this niche. This is going to go to this niche. And so that was a sound strategy. Now, looking back at it, I don't know that that's the best strategy for me. At this point, I keep thinking, wait a minute, I have got Chameleon Academy, Reptile Entrepreneur, Misty Forest Dragons. I actually have a niche content creator.
Yeah.
And so, and there's Dragon Strand. And so I've got all these channels. I am thinking it may have been better for me to just have Bill Strand Reptiles and just put it all in there. But so, it's one way or the other. The thing is, the people, if I do a lot of chameleon content, are the entrepreneurs going to really want to sit through that?
Yeah.
I don't think so. And so, like this channel right here, this is a kind of it's going to be a little bit of everything.
Right.
I was thinking about this mini series about starting your own YouTube channel. That really goes well with the reptile entrepreneur. And so maybe I should have put it there. But the reason I put it here is because the people who are interested in the basic reptile stuff are the ones who are going to use this information the best. People who go into the reptile entrepreneur, they're already deep into it. They already want this information. They're looking for it. But I wanted this miniseries to go for people that maybe didn't know that they wanted to do it, didn't know to look for this information.
Right. People starting up rather than looking for the details.
And you know what? Is there a right answer? There's just decisions that we make.
Yeah, absolutely.
So whenever I'm giving this information for everybody listening, this isn't necessarily saying this is the right information, right decision. It's just what I did with the information that I had.
Yeah. Nobody knows how the beast that is the algorithm works.
Yes. And by the way, we have two special guests here. Do you want to come over and say hello? Come on over.
Oops.
Okay.
Well, there's me. I'm here too.
There we go.
For a second. I'm going to be online with everybody too. I wanted to come by and say hello. And Vixen will not leave me alone. She just is my little shadow. So
Vixen's the real star.
This is Yvette Strand, my wife of Misty Mountain Fans. And for those of you who are watching the series, the episodes are going out every day, there is going to be a halftime show. Each episode is going to have 2 sections, tutorial sections, and there's going to be a halftime show. And that halftime show, every episode is going to have Yvette because she's going through each of these classes to start her own YouTube channel. And so
wait.
What are you doing?
I'm like, I got to do it from that side. Okay. He gave me the high fist.
Oh, okay.
Exactly. Do you have a name for the channel yet?
Yes, I do. It's my business. It's Misty Mountain Fans. PHANTS.
Awesome.
Yeah. Awesome. And she actually has it already. It's got shorts on it.
Yeah.
Go subscribe.
Oh,
yes. But
it's growing.
But so she has a very good Instagram following. This isn't fair, but I told her she needed to get on Instagram and told her how to do it. Now she's got a whole larger account than me.
And I told him to go on YouTube, and now it's paybacks.
Oh yes, you're going to hear about this story.
A lot of eating humble pie here.
But so she is going to be doing this in real time, and we're going to be able to watch her go through each one of the classes, and you're going to watch it in real time. So we're going to be having her channel.
Huge growth.
So this way you're kind of growing with one of your fellow students.
Oh yes, and it's a little complicated when you're living in the same house. So there's hilarious. It's funny.
I'm sure we're going to have to relate some of those stories.
I know. Oh, he's so unapologetic.
Let's see. Let's go ahead. Give me a second. I'm going to get that link to Misty.
Please do.
Misty Mountain
Fans.
Fans. I can't spell.
It's okay.
And while you do that, I did find it. So the Instagram is. Oh, I'm already following you. I didn't think I was. Cool.
Oh,
okay.
Excellent. Yes.
So the Instagram as well. Everyone go follow that too.
Oh, thank you.
All right, everybody. Yep, I have I put the link down there for Misty Mountain Fans, and so if you want to, join that and watch her growth, and you're going to find out in tomorrow's episode that goes live. But you're going to give you a preview. So, what is your plan for doing your first long form video?
Oh, are you putting me on the spot? I haven't figured it out yet. You know, all great things happen at the last minute.
Well, when are we going to see this masterpiece?
Apparently, it's next Saturday.
That's
Was
right.
it next Saturday?
Yeah, yeah.
I don't even know where to
That's what
look.
you
Am I
committed
supposed to
to.
look at this little dot up here? So it might look. I gotta think of all these little things I gotta remember. So just the little things. But next week, Saturday is going to be the big day.
Yep. And so we're gonna be you're gonna be seeing her first long form video, and
Anything over 61 seconds.
she
go.
knows the
I gotta
minimum.
throw the. I gotta
now,
throw a little shade.
For now, YouTube's actually about to make it 3 minutes now.
Yeah, as a short. Let me tell you what the heck is up with that. But if it's got to be profile. If it's landscape in 61 seconds, it goes back on to the long form.
I think I need to get off my duff and do the hard stuff now.
Yes.
All right. Well, I'm gonna
Okay, you can
escape,
go.
and I'm gonna be on the other side with everybody.
All right, you can go back into the audience. So,
I will just quickly comment on that. She said the hard side, but I actually think Instagram could be just as hard as YouTube.
Yeah, and it's definitely an entire out. These are all different outreaches.
Exactly. Yeah.
But the advantage of YouTube is the long form video, and being able. So she's a breeder of Eurypletus fantasticus, and so she gets a lot of questions. That she answers over and over and over again. And yes, people can go to the website, but to be able to do a weekly video and send a link to a video, that's
a lot
really
easier.
Convenient.
Yeah, no, for sure. Yeah, absolutely.
All right, I'm going to put, for those of you who are coming on my side, I'm going to put a link to Daffy's Reptiles. There we go. And so you can go over and follow Daffy. So here is, we got a couple of questions here.
Nice.
We'll go for this question. Should you focus on growing a YouTube channel over other socials? Bill has proven IG is garbage for live streams. What do you think, Dad?
Are you taking the right take this one? Okay. I think it really depends on what your focus is. As you were like, focus on this or focus on that. I think Instagram is an excellent place for, as you said earlier, breeders, someone looking to build a business. I think you should absolutely be focusing on IG. I think it's probably a better place to be able to connect with buyers and people interested in your animals, and probably an easier, with the DMs, it's an easier way to quickly answer questions. But for education and teaching, as you said, again, with just sending a link to a video is much easier. Focusing on YouTube. Now, with that said, I don't think that, to a certain extent, people do. Bill, you've built an incredible community that are following you from Instagram to YouTube to wherever you are. But I don't think that they're the same viewers on Instagram and YouTube. There's a select few that are watching everything you do, but I think they are their own audiences. And YouTube is education and entertainment. And so a lot of people will go on. And so the way, the format of the content is different, but and the end goal is different. But I do think, and people are not going to like this answer, I don't think there's one or the other. I think you should be focusing on both as a content creator.
I found in my outreach that Instagram and YouTube have two different purposes, and Instagram has so many different tools for you to use to build a community there. YouTube ends up being a little bit more of a performance. Definitely there's that on Instagram as well, but Instagram, you have the DMs, you have the stories, and so there's these so many more tools for building that community.
Yeah.
Now, that said, in 2025, YouTube is looking at bringing out, expanding the community feature. So instead of having these little posts that you can do that are really difficult to get people to interact with. They're looking at bringing out kind of a primitive Instagram format, so you can actually post to it both as a creator and a viewer. So I think YouTube is now pulling together, filling some of the holes that they had, and trying to become more of a comprehensive platform.
That would be awesome, actually.
Yeah, yes, I'm looking forward to that, because there's so many things. You look on any of our videos, and people just are hungry for a place to ask questions, and they'll just ask questions that have nothing to do with the video, just to get some interaction. And of course, they don't want to go to Instagram. Everybody wants to stay on their platform of choice.
Yes.
So,
yes, absolutely. Do you use Threads?
Kind of. Okay. I was one of the first people on Threads.
Yeah.
And woohoo! I was there within the first, when it went live, I was there and I got my accounts.
Waiting for it.
But it has become a miserable place
Really?
to be. I don't like it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So let's see. We have someone, Snake's Therapy, does not like shorts at all. I feel like short form detracts from long form on YouTube. And, well, yeah, everybody's got their opinion. And I have noticed there's a lot of YouTubers that do not like shorts.
Yes.
But there's just so many people that love shorts. I think we're stuck with them.
There's a lot of channels that are only shorts.
Yeah. And everybody, this is a good thing to remember, is that there is two different groups there. There is people who are on shorts and people who are on long form, and there is an overlap. But if you look in your metrics and look at where the audience is, there is an overlap, but you have two distinct groups: shorts people and long people, and you got to decide where your strategy is for all of those.
I'm currently trying to use the shorts as so I'll put like a clip of a long form video and then watch the rest of the video here, because you can link at the bottom of the short the long form video. So that's what my current strategy is. It's not going great. I think they're looking for that almost TikTok-y, like grab them in the first 3 seconds, show them something crazy so that they don't swipe away. And who knows, maybe I don't have it right, but I do find that, they say that nowadays people are less likely to hit the subscribe button. I feel like on shorts, they're still more likely to hit subscribe than they are in long form.
Yeah. I've not had much success at all at getting people to go to long form videos from the shorts. It's like they want the well, when you go to the shorts feed, you want to do the doom scroll. You don't want to sit and and learn something.
Yeah, absolutely.
And so I think that we should have two outreaches. If we want to use shorts, use two outreaches. I have been able to get a lot of subscribers from shorts, but then I lose those subscribers when I do my live sessions. And it's really strange, because my live sessions are some of my deepest community builders. I mean, that is the core of the Chameleon Academy. Yet every live session, I lose subscribers.
Interesting.
So there you go.
I wonder who actually has the energy to unsubscribe.
Yeah, that's I wonder, is a real person, because you have to decide to unsubscribe.
Right. Like, I'm still probably subscribed to channels that I haven't watched in 5-6 years, because it's such an effort to just unsubscribe.
Jarek says, no idea what Threads are. Well, buddy, what is Threads?
So Threads were a new release from Meta. It was almost a year ago now, if not more, right? And the best way I would I would describe it is it's Twitter for Meta, or sorry, X for Meta, and it's just a feed where people are essentially tweeting, and I'm currently only using it to this podcast has been released or this has been released. I haven't engaged in conversations on there, and now Bill, you're saying that it's not a great place, and I assume that you mean probably there's a lot of negativity on there, which
A
is
lot of
what I found
whining
with
and
X.
complaining.
Yeah, which is what I found Twitter and X to be as well, and I kind of have stayed away from that for now. They do have a big scientific community, so like people that are doing research and that kind of stuff will kind of put updates on their research in there. But if you're not looking to engage in a battle or a conversation back and forth, I'm not a big fan of it either. I was also on it pretty early. I never posted anything until recently, but I was on it just kind of watching, seeing what people were doing, and not a big fan either.
Yeah, so it is good old Instagram, Meta, Facebook has been trying to figure out how to do something, fight
Take over the
Twitter,
world.
because Meta is about absorbing everything. And so when Elon Musk took over Twitter and was just getting rid of everybody, Meta said, hey, this is our opportunity to provide a place for all those people to come to. And they got the timing right. And boy, 275 million active accounts now. They did the timing right.
It was the fastest growing social media ever, I think. Like the second they build up a lot of hype for it, so the second it was released, there was a lot of people jumping on, and then I feel like it went.
Yeah, well, it was a genius rollout because they had everybody from Instagram come on over, and then you brought over all of your subscribers or your followers, and so you came over and you didn't have to start from scratch. Like I came over and I had thousands of followers immediately, and so they really did a good job with creating an instant community. But the thing is, nobody knew what to do with it. And so you had all these Instagrammers, and it was actually a breath of fresh air. We had all these Instagrammers come over. I came from Instagram. I wasn't on Twitter. And it was just, a new playground. We're having fun. And all the people from Twitter coming over like like they came from a war zone. And it was just that meshing of two people, like the refugees and the people who are thinking it's an amusement park. So
right.
It was a very interesting launch.
It sounds like the refugees won.
You know what? It's no, and everybody's experience is going to be different because the algorithm is going to bring you different people. And so when I'm describing what I'm describing, just know it's just from whatever I am being given, and other people are going to have completely different feelings. But I don't see the intense political drama on Threads. It's more of a personal drama of, well, I got fired and I took my HR to court and I won type stuff. So it's still humans being annoying, but in a different way. So
yeah, that's funny. That's the same kind of posts I'm seeing as well.
But I'm not seeing a big reptile community. And see, that's the thing. When you go to these platforms, if your community's not there, I mean, what do you do there?
What's the point?
Like with Vero.
Vero. Yeah.
That was we
like
had
6
a bunch
of us on there.
What?
There was like 6 of us on there.
Yeah. and we were thinking, okay, let's try this, because that was about the time we got sick of Instagram bringing in reels. And it's like, okay, now the only way you can survive on Instagram is if you have reels. And those of us who built this city on still images, we're thinking, it's like, okay, all of us who grew up on Instagram are now being pushed out by the people who do great on reels. Yes. And it's like, okay, what do we do? And you either find another platform or else you get good at reels. And I tried both and it didn't work to have another platform. So I just had to get good. Well, I'm still not good at reels, but that's what I do now.
I do agree with you on that, though. I think the answer, unfortunately, at that time, the answer was adapt and figure out how to do reels. I don't think I'm very good at doing reels either. But going to another platform where nobody's there, and as you said, no reptile community, the right answer was adapt and figure out how
Yeah.
you keep the most popular platform, or at that time it was, relevant.
Yeah, let's see. Mike Titula puts his lives on Twitch. Curse you, gaming world, for better live streams. Is this something you have considered? Well, Fadi, let you answer this.
I have actually. I looked into it. I went into Twitch and I was just trying to find what, as you said, where the community is. Is there a reptile community? What they're doing? I did find one streamer. She would, I guess, build setups while talking to the people, but it's very gaming world. So like it would take her an hour to put the bio balls in, and then she would answer a bunch of the comments, and then put the mesh layer, answer a bunch of the comments, put the substrate in, answer a bunch of the comments. And so a build that takes you 40 minutes took her probably 4 hours, and the comments were not reptile people.
Okay.
They were more so people, people interested in like what's going on here, more so than I'm a reptile keeper already, I know what you're doing, right? And I have seen Mike's streams on, or lives, a couple of his lives on Twitch. I don't know if he's still doing them, uh, but it seemed as if, and I could be wrong here, but it seemed as if a lot of his community followed him there,
Yeah.
rather than it being a Twitch reptile community that was watching. That being said, I never actually figured out how to do it, and so I kind of just dropped it and gave up on it. I don't know, is it still as relevant as YouTube is? I'm not sure.
Yeah, I believe that was a program where Twitch reached out to Mike and said, "Hey, we want to expand our communities here." And so Mike went over and said, "Okay, I'll give it a shot." But I believe, like me, most of the people watching him were either wondering what the heck this was, or else were his audience from other platforms like me. I went over to Twitch just because he was there to say, oh, okay, what's this all about?
Yeah.
But I didn't see any difference between him being on Twitch or him being on YouTube. And YouTube is where we have a huge reptile community. So yeah, you could go to Twitch and you could start off and try to, it's like a whole new land. Go ahead and try to build a community there, but it's gonna take a lot of, you got to be dedicated to it. And I bet you somebody could build a community there, but you got to want it. And there's got to be a reason for you to dedicate the time it's gonna take to build a community there.
Yeah.
And I mean, I'll go if there's a community, if there's people there that would love to watch chameleon content or this entrepreneurial content or stuff, I'll go. But there's still so much I have here on YouTube to work with and build out that bringing on another platform, there's no reason to spread myself thin.
Yeah, like you said earlier in the episode as well, it's every piece of content you create, or every live, or every whatever it's fun work, but it is work. There's the preparation, the editing, figuring out the topics and all of that. And eventually there is what is called a burnout. You know what I mean? If you're doing a live on Monday on YouTube and then one on Tuesday on Instagram and then blah blah blah.
Yep.
Now, is there a point in maybe using, I think you can do it on StreamYard, where and I know you stream on YouTube and Instagram at the same time, I believe.
Yep.
If there is a way to maybe add that to Twitch, so you're not doing extra work, but you are there, maybe. But until now, I don't really know if it's beneficial.
The thing is, it's not only just creating the content to be there, it's creating the community there. Because if you're there, like with TikTok, I'm on TikTok, but I don't have the bandwidth to answer all the questions when they come in. So I can't nurture the community that my content is trying to build. And that's really what we're all trying to do here, is build a community. That's where the value is, at least for me. And I think for those of us in the reptile community. So wherever you plant a flag, you have to defend it. And okay, let's not say it that way. Wherever
like
you move into, you've got to support it. You like a franchise where you're gonna open a franchise in another city. That's a better analogy. And so, but then that means your attention has to be split. And the question is, what benefit are you getting from that? You mentioned I'm also on Instagram, and that's actually where I started my lives. But I had to move to YouTube because Instagram was messing with the functionality, and like for whatever reason they cut off the comments, so I couldn't see the comments. And it was just a bug, and then eventually it was fixed, but it was like 6 months to get it fixed. And by that time, I moved to YouTube because, hey, I can't wait 6 months. I have no idea when this is going to get fixed. And so now I have a stronger community on YouTube. And I did have to make that decision. Where do I want to put my effort? Because if I spread it all out, I'm going to lose. I'm not going to be able to have a great community at any one place. So,
yeah. Do you think the live streams are what built the community for you more so than a video a week or whatever?
Oh, Daffy, that boy, you've just tapped into something.
Ding, 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 ding.
In my case, the live sessions created a community that was completely separate from anything else, anywhere else. And it was something that I didn't expect. I literally started live sessions because I couldn't talk to the camera. This was part of my personal growth, where I sat down one day and I was so frustrated at how many takes it took for me to do a YouTube video. I mean, my history, it literally took, I've been trying to do YouTube since 2016, 2018, something like that. And it was like painful for me to do a video, so many takes, and I couldn't talk to the camera. And so I was so frustrated. I say, I got to get over this, that I took out my phone, Instagram, and I hit go live. And I forced myself to go live for an entire hour. And I committed to myself that I was going to go live for an entire hour every week. And people would come on. And so I would interact with people. And when they weren't on or they weren't interacting, I had to talk to the camera.
You have to keep it going. Absolutely.
And that was a huge personal development for myself to be able to do YouTube. And that was like 3 years ago. And I now do 3 lives a week. But to answer your question, it started very, very slowly. But what happened is a community coalesced around the live sessions. And this wasn't an Instagram community, not a Facebook community, and not a YouTube community. These are people that weren't necessarily enjoying other social medias. And so they came just for the lives. In fact, I've got some people that got a YouTube account just so they could be on the lives. Awesome. And that created the most tight-knit, healthy, enjoyable community that exists on any of the social medias right now. And so it's kind of like one of those desert flowers that just stays dormant until the rains come, and then it opens up and then it goes dormant again.
Yeah.
It's like this is a digital nomad community that just all of a sudden appears when it's time for a live session and then disappears. So it's been quite the experience.
I'll also add to that, I think when you're doing a YouTube video, you have that option of, nope, I don't like that clip, cut it out. Nope, I don't like that joke I made, cut it out. Nope, I don't. Whereas when you're on a live, once it's out, it's out. And so people start to see more of your real personality versus what you're hiding behind the editing.
Yeah. And I mean, it's an incredible this is something that I'll go over in the classes, but it's an incredible growth to do these live sessions, especially when you're doing it solo. Having a guest like what we're doing right now, this is relatively easy because there's somebody who can take up the slack. You can ask questions, you can go back and forth, bring in questions from the chat. But when you're doing it your own, and especially when you're just starting off, it is such a good way to practice looking at the camera and having to talk. I mean, now it's relatively easy for me, because if I want to say something, I am going to get so far behind in the chat that then I have to catch up. And so there's always something going on. I mean, when we started this thing, there was already 3 pages of chat that we could just go over. Right now, I'm scrolling. We are so far behind in the chat right now. Just because you keep talking. So
I'm sorry, I'll stop. Go.
I mean, once you get this going, it just keeps building on each other until a really cool community.
It's true. And just before you pull up another chat, I do want to add to that you say you kind of get used to it and becomes almost like second nature. And to everyone that's doubting starting a YouTube channel because of that, like, I don't know if I can be on camera, I don't know what, it's exactly that. It's practice, and eventually it becomes like second nature, and someone turns on a camera and you're like, hey. So it is absolutely practice. Absolutely.
Yeah. And I will say, and you'll hear me say this throughout the series, if you are intimidated by being on camera, I know what you're going through. This has been becoming good on camera, and having all the stuff that I do on YouTube has been the most painful growth experience of my entire content creation career. I'm a podcaster. I write things and I speak into a microphone in my closet. That is my comfort level. This is video, not my comfort level. And my wife can relate there. When I said, okay, it is time, I need to expand my outreach. I was a podcaster onto YouTube. I have to do it consistently. It took me 2 years to start. 2 years of constant discussion. I have to do this. 2 years of her saying, you have to do this, to where I did it. And it was so painful. I can't tell you how many takes I had to do just to get one video out. So I know where you're coming from. And that's one reason why I'm doing this entire series, because I know how hard it is. And the growth that I've been able to have as a herpetoculturist has been immense. And I think that would be incredible for people to have that kind of growth, and being forced, well, you're not forced, but making an episode every week. It's like you have to take all those thoughts in your head and you have to turn them into words. And just that practice solidifies your understanding of what you're doing. And I mean, so much of what we do is feeling. We just feel it's right. Well, how do you explain that to somebody? It's like, ooh, well, okay, there's your personal growth as a herpetoculturalist. Can't say that word, but
herpetoculturalist. I also struggle with it.
Okay, I'm going to record Fadi saying it, and I'm going to just hit that play button. All right. We're gonna go through this chat real quick. Let's see, let's see. Snake therapy is saying it's so different what to do in long form for the most part. If you want to do it short form and long form correctly, it's 2 different outreaches. You got to have a strategy. And I know we people on the show, we take little clips and we put it on the shorts feed, but you know what? That's
it doesn't work.
Doesn't work very well.
Yeah, I'm about a month into trying it, and it doesn't work very well.
Yeah. And Mikey says, we
found an unsubscriber.
And we'll unsubscribe from you if you you slack off. So
Like, please don't unsubscribe from my channel.
Better keep on it, Fadi.
Yeah.
Let's see. Can't believe people unsubscribe from your channel because of your live screens. That's so strange. Why don't they just wait for the next one? I really don't know the answer to this, because I don't even know who I'm subscribed to. And right now the feed that they give you is just people. And so
That's Ask Mikey.
All sorts of stuff. And so I don't know who I'm getting. And I will unsubscribe if there's something offensive and saying, I don't want to see this on my feed, but I can't answer that. I don't do anything offensive. I have chameleons on my show. I mean, geez, how is that
Right.
offensive? Oh, all right. Let's see. Nate was being on Twitter and on Threads, moved over to Threads, never found Reptiles in those platforms. It's technology and games. Mikey says, I joined Threads because Bill used the Jedi mind trick, made one post I haven't got. On my Reptile Entrepreneur, I had an episode about Threads. And so it was a good idea. You know what? We ought to try it. It didn't work so well.
But that's what a big portion of content creation is just, I said this the other day, throw a bunch of stuff on the wall and see what sticks, right? And Threads didn't stick, but something else will.
See, accidentally interacted with a live Reptile stream on TikTok. There are tons of TikTok live Reptile. Yes, TikTok is huge on that. And although I tried it, and I just didn't get people who enjoyed my live stream. I every Sunday night I did a live stream on TikTok, and the people who were there were the people who followed me from Instagram and YouTube. And so it wasn't like I was building a TikTok audience. Now, if I wanted to, I should have stuck with it. And it took me a year and a half before I really had a good, solid Instagram and YouTube audience. So, it takes time, but
I've never given that a try. Actually, I maybe I should, but I have seen a few of the TikTok lives. And I feel like, again, it's a completely different formula. It's a completely different crowd. It's, you're not, I couldn't describe the perfect audience to you on TikTok, but they're definitely different people that are on TikTok than YouTube and Instagram.
But the thing is, since it is such a different demographic, it's a totally different outreach. And so it's not like you just, I know repurposing, the entrepreneur people saying, the hustle bros saying, you make one piece of content, you put it everywhere. That's sloppy. Yeah. These are different people in different communities. And if you really want to do an effective approach with these communities, you got to give them the attention and treat them as individuals, or else, it's going to be lackluster. They're going to know you don't care.
Absolutely.
Here you go, Fadi. Analytics show YouTube has overcome network television for advertising. Any strategies how to benefit from YouTube more? And I will say, people are now watching YouTube on their TVs. So
there's actually some of the analytics that pop up on the YouTube Studio app shows stuff like that. Like, personally, I don't use Netflix anymore. I don't use, if I want to watch anything, I'm eating or whatever it is, I go straight to YouTube and see what's going on there. And I don't know if I can talk too much on advertising because I haven't been able to get too much going on in that. But I do think that the benefit of it is that you can tailor, again, to the audience. So like, as a company that wants to advertise with YouTube, it's easier. When you're watching TV, it's different shows that are possibly not related to each other, and you're sticking that ad in the middle, or you're sticking it between the shows, and it's that whatever the ad is, cars or baby diapers or whatever it is, it may not resonate with whoever's watching. Whereas I think the reason it's doing better on YouTube is, if a reptile company wants to advertise, they're going to go to the reptile content creator, or they're going to go to something similar. And so the audience is already an audience that is interested in that topic. Whereas, like I said, on TV or on Netflix or whatever, it's just someone's just watching TV that may not be interested in whatever the ad is. And I don't know about any strategies of how to benefit from YouTube more, I'd be very interested in hearing what Bill has to say about this, or anyone else, because I'm still trying to build towards that as well.
I'm struggling, and when we say benefit from YouTube more in advertising, you're talking about monetization, I think.
I assume,
And
yeah.
this has been a struggle for me. I need to monetize my outreach. I spend so much time on my outreach that I have to monetize it, because otherwise I need all of the time that I spend has to be going to making sure that I have a house over my head, a roof over my head, pay the mortgage. And I'm spending so much time on the chameleons and entrepreneurial, essentially my digital outreach. I need to monetize it. But there are things, I have been using these digital outreaches to build community. And although those things don't have to be separate, they are a different approach to YouTube. And I know that I could definitely be a lot more commercial about it. And like taking sponsorships from reptile companies. I have been approached by reptile companies to sponsor my content, and I've struggled with that. Do I start becoming more commercial? I have my own products, and obviously I can stand behind those products because I designed them. But others, that's a decision, and it's something I'm slowly moving into cautiously. But it is a different mindset, and so I'm struggling with this right now, and I don't have answers as to what works for me.
Yeah.
Although I will say, what I'm trying to do is to bring monetization for building a community. So, I'm seeing if I can. I've got a community, a closed community that's around a course that I'm selling, and then I'm going to be having certain spaces that are monetized, and I feel really good about that because I know I have full control over that product. But
Yeah, no, that makes sense. Especially like you said, picking and choosing what products you can stand behind. You have to try it yourself first, especially when you have a community like you've built. You got to try it first. You don't want to be recommending something that you haven't, that's not tried and tested, whatever the saying is. Yeah, absolutely.
But we're entering into a new realm, a new era, where now reptile influencers are seen as people to be supported by our reptile companies, which is an exciting step, because that means that we are entering into a point where people can start making livings being influencers. And that means that people can focus on education. They can focus on being ambassadors to the regular world. And I think that is an important step for us as a community. So as much as I am struggling with how to fit into that, I think it's a positive thing that we are going in that direction.
I absolutely agree. I think it puts us closer to, not that weird community, but more of it puts us closer to the dog and cat community, or a more widely accepted community. It's like, this is normal now.
Put it on there. So, okay, let's go through there's a live for your lives, Bill. See, this is an example of the desert flower that just appears when a live session appears.
Exactly.
But yeah, okay, I'm going to go through the chat here. We are getting a lot. Oh, yeah, Mikey says, live streams bring out genuine people. You can't top that overput. Yeah.
Exactly. More personality and less hiding by with the editing. Exactly.
Yeah, and you really, what I want to accomplish through this new channel, Reptile Entrepreneur, and I mean all of my outreaches, is to focus on community. And I think you'll find that in my Reptile Entrepreneur, I'm going to be revitalizing that and taking it into a different direction. Whereas most of the time, the entrepreneurial approaches is about making money. And there's so many outreaches out there that talk about how to make money in this digital market. I think my part in that is talking about how to build community, not because I want to build a community that I can make money off of, but a community that I can learn from and I can grow with. And I think that's a unique approach that I am more suited to help with. And like I said, everybody else is talking about how to make money online. So you don't need me to do that.
You could take other niches and adapt it to the reptile community.
Yeah, let's see. I started OB TikTok, did not really enjoy it.
I think that means on.
On through. Okay, yes, on TikTok, yes. So, all right, I'm running through the chat here.
Also, what's up, Abby?
Yes. Okay, guys, just hang tight. There we go. Stinky loves Daffy's videos.
Thank you, Stinky. I'm sure you're not that stinky.
No desire to create content, but I intensely love our community and appreciate those that bring energy to grow a posted community. Yeah.
Yes. Absolutely. We have an incredible
community. It's found that some of my long form clips get more views on Instagram than others, and the rest of my short form is completely different than my YouTube episodes. Okay.
You have to dive into that and see what the strategy is. Yeah.
Here is Nate. Call Nate the cleaner. Purposely go to my subscriptions playlist, and he keeps his playlists, his subscriptions clean.
I do not.
All right, here's a question from Stinky. How do you guys weigh creating valuable but not algorithm friendly videos versus trying to tailor your videos to their algorithm? Oh my goodness, Stinky. Yes, huge. I'll let Fadi answer this one.
I think this question kind of goes with or kind of like resonates to quality versus quantity. And I think what the algorithm wants is, to a certain extent, obviously you still need some quality in there, but I think what the algorithm wants is quantity. And I think the more you show up for your community, your followers, subscribers, or even just like random people potentially watching, just scrolling through YouTube and finding your video, I think the how to weigh it out is, when you're creating quality, you're building that community of people who want to come back. And when you're just feeding the beast, quantity, you're not really building there's something in the analytics that shows you like new watchers versus returning watchers. And I think when you're putting out quality, there's a higher percentage of returning watchers. And when you're putting out, just algorithm tailored videos, I think that is quantity, which you don't get as many returning viewers. It's people that are finding you, maybe watching one video, possibly not even subscribing, and then maybe one day they'll find your channel again. Whereas again, I'm repeating myself, but when you're putting out quality videos, you're building a community. You're getting the same people watching over and over again, and now you could potentially do more. Like you were saying, Bill, you're starting courses or the course or building groups and that kind of stuff. I don't think you can do that with just quality and feeding the beast.
And Stinky has added on, has a cat meme Instagram with about 100,000 followers, but I just optimized for the algorithm. And that's the thing. And actually episode 2 of the series, so on Tuesday, is about being clear about your purpose and your promise. What is it that you are getting out of this? What do you want? Because if you want to build a huge account where you get advertising and you get affiliate and that's where you get your money, then yeah, a cat meme account is the absolute best thing to do. You don't care about community. You want the biggest number of eyes, and you don't care if they come back. They come across, that's funny. Okay, I'll click on
share.
I want a shirt. Okay. You don't need a whole big community. You just need a lot of eyes. And so you are clear as to what your purpose is. On my side, I want, my purpose is to build a community. And so I am going to create material and content that's going to get people to think. I had a reel go viral and get 25 million views. And I got a big spike of subscribers. Woohoo! But you look into those subscribers, you know, the bots and people from India. Love people from India. But if I'm selling something, I can't send something to India. But then, unfortunately, I think it wasn't the people from India. It was these farms in India that were just, these accounts that don't have any posts and stuff. So they were fake accounts. And if I need the numbers to be impressive and say I've got 1 million followers, which, by the way, that opens doors. Okay.
Of course.
Don't tell me that it's a vanity metric. It makes all the difference in the world as to what doors are open to you.
Going back to advertising, advertisers are more likely to work with you if you have higher numbers. But sorry, proceed. Yeah.
Yeah. Now, eventually, you're going to have to deliver on that. So you can't just be a pretty face. You got to actually deliver. But being a pretty face gets you in the door.
Yeah.
So it really depends on your purpose. What are you trying to do?
Also, Stinky, cat meme IG is a genius idea.
Let's see. Have to admit it. The Reptile Entrepreneur episode of Purpose and Promise brought me out. Wear it on my sleeve with great pride. I am glad.
There you go. Community again. Yeah.
All right. I'm getting through the chat here.
Awesome. I'm sure there's a lot of good questions coming.
So let's see what's VP Morth's. Education is key, but not all information is good information. Some is just opinion, and that doesn't mean it's wrong. It may just be what worked for you. This is. I don't know if this is exactly where you're going, but here's where I'm going to take it. We need people who are good at presenting, and unfortunately, the people with experience aren't always good at presenting. The people who are good at presenting don't always have experience, but they're seen as authorities because they're good at presenting. And this is going to get a whole lot worse with AI. I know we have a number of YouTube accounts that are completely AI driven, and I hate their videos get more views than mine do. So what the heck? But it's going to get worse, that the people who know how to use the system and they can put together something that looks pretty are going to get seen more than somebody who's put in decades of work to get the experience, but doesn't know how to put together a video. So another way, I am hoping that if you are part of the community, you have that experience, but you don't know how to get it on YouTube, we need you. We need you so badly to be to make a digital footprint. We're losing so much of our experience in the community because those people don't have a digital footprint, and it's not fair, it's not right, it's not healthy. But the fact is, if you don't have a digital footprint, it's like you don't exist. Yes, we can have written things that exist in libraries, but who's going to check libraries? Everybody's on Google and such. So we have to bring those people with experience onto a digital footprint. So I hope that this course that I've got coming up will help some of you who have experience to be able to put it into a form that will be searchable and used by the audience.
Yeah, and if something works for you, it may work for, even if it's just 10 other people, it's something that they may not have known that's working for you that starts working for them. So, absolutely agree.
Oh. Well, Fadi, where are you going with your channel? What? No, wait. Okay,
Oh.
first, I want to ask something that I should have asked at the beginning. Why did you start a channel to begin with? Oh, wait, you said information. That's right. There was
Information, love of the community. It just, it seemed like the next step. Yeah, absolutely.
So, okay. All right. So now that you've got that, where do you plan on taking your YouTube experience?
Yeah, well, first of all, you've talked about self-growth a couple of times on this episode, and I think one thing that I'm not good at is consistency. So I think that's my next step, is figuring out how to be a little more consistent, and then building a community. So maybe I'll start to, almost dropped my phone, sorry. I think the next step is maybe starting to try some of these live streams as well, trying to build that community. I already know that there's a lot of awesome people that are watching my stuff, and I don't have that, let's call it an open door to engage with them. I want it to be back and forth. I don't want it to be like I'm yelling information at you and reading the comments. So I think live streaming is definitely a way to go, but I got to figure out how to be consistent first so that I can start doing that. So I think that's the next step for me. And then collaborations. I think going back to the love of the community, and one of the reasons I started this channel is because we have so many awesome people in this community, and the more we collaborate with each other, the more information is out there, the more entertainment is out there. And I'd love to see the reptile hobby just be, as I said earlier, just a normal thing that many other people are doing. I feel like we are still quite a small niche, and it's definitely growing very fast, but I would love to see it like be as normal as the dog community or the cat community or the bird community. I think that's I don't know how long it'll take me to get there, but those are the next steps.
Yeah, I love where we're going as a community, and there is so much more interaction, collaboration. I mean, before, like 10 years ago, 5 years ago, it was like everybody was in their own little their own little lane and doing their own thing. But there's been so much more meeting of creators, whether Animal Con or at reptile shows or collaborations, interviews. And so I think that makes a much stronger community. So glad to see it happening.
I agree. I mean, when I first started keeping reptiles, I had no idea. Like, obviously, I knew there were some other people keeping reptiles because you find them in the pet stores and stuff. But I had no idea that there was this entire community, that there was expos that you could buy and sell and trade and just learn all together. And it really is awesome. And just because you said Animal Con there, I'm going to put this publicly just because so that somebody can hold me to it. I am planning to be at Animal Con next year, so somebody please hold me to it.
Well, I do have a question.
Yes.
What's going on up there in Canada? How come there's so many great YouTube Canadians?
Because Canadians are awesome, obviously.
I guess so.
I think what it is we're all so close to each other. I feel like in the States there's obviously so many incredible creators there as well, but I feel like you're all quite spread out, whereas we're all very close to each other, and so collaborating and building that community between us has become a lot easier. And then just going back to Canadians are awesome.
Okay. Well, you just look at throughout this entire month, every Sunday, I have another reptile YouTuber that's going to be co-hosting with me. And I just realized of the 5 that I have, 3 are Canadian.
Let's go, Canada.
The heck. So
yeah. No, I do think it's proximity of being able to meet up here or meet up there, or like even just if you look just in this chat right now, like Microverse was in, VIP Morphs was here, Aquarium Talk TV is here. Like there's so many awesome creators that and we're all able to meet up and interact more frequently, I think, than creators in other places.
Okay. Well, I of course,
I hope that was a good enough answer.
have a soft spot in my heart for Canadians, and
we're waiting for you to come up here.
Yeah, well, I need to and visit you all. I was got to be with a lot of you in Madagascar, and you kind of adopted me.
Yes.
Now, as far as me, go back to the question I asked you, and then just conveniently asked a bunch of other questions, so you didn't ask me. Got out of that.
What is the next steps for Misty Forest
Mhm.
Dragons and this? And hit
Yeah,
us.
see, you know what? He remembered. He wasn't going to let me get away with it. I, personally speaking, I want to work on my storytelling. That is my personal growth, to where I want to be better at it. And this is going to be one of those things that people looking at my outreach, they're not going to notice me being different or growing in that. But this is what drives me. My personal goal as an artist in this medium. This is what I want to get better at. So that's personally. As far as professionally, this channel here allows. I'm just going to do anything on this channel that may mess up the algorithm. I don't care on this channel. I'm gonna aggressively grow it, but I've got my basic reptile stuff, and now I've got a mini series course. The algorithm isn't going to know what to do with me, but I'll keep my chameleon channel, chameleon stuff, and the reptile entrepreneur stuff. But this one, I'm just going to have fun with it on this one. So
that's awesome.
That's what I'm going. Where I'm going with it.
And I think you're going to benefit a lot of us by doing that, because we can kind of see, this is working, this is not working. The experimentation is a huge part of it. And to add to the storytelling thing, I think that's, you said you worked in product marketing and all that stuff. I think storytelling is a skill that, I would also like to better myself at, but it's a skill that any niche, any job, it's just such a incredible skill that I think everybody needs to work on. Absolutely.
And it's fun. It's fun making stories, and that's what I want to do in my videos is do that. Oh, yeah. All right. What is Mikey Ben? I will give up a kidney for Bill Yvette and James Cross to come up to the CRBE. What is a CRBE?
The Canadian Reptile Breeders Expo. So that's their biggest show every year. It's in September. I think it would be incredible to see you guys up there for sure. For sure.
That would be a lot of fun. So,
yeah.
All right. All right, folks, we are coming to the end of the show here. And so go ahead, put any last comments in the chat here. And Fadi, any last comments you want to share with everybody?
Yeah, well, first of all, to anyone coming from my channel, first of all, thank you very much for coming. Can I pop your channel link in here? Will that?
Oh, please,
I
please.
I would love I don't know if that works, but follow Misty Forest Dragons. Follow Yvette's channel as well. Misty Mountain
Fans. A lot of mist going on here.
There are a lot of mist going on there. And just thank you all very much for coming out. And I'll leave it. While I look for your channel link to drop it in here. For anyone that's thinking of doing this, there's no reason not to. Even if it doesn't work out, try it, and you never know, it may be something that just grabs you and you kind of run with it. And I hear this kind of on other podcasts, because I listen to YouTube podcasts as well as the reptile stuff. But just start. Just hit record and start, because you never know when. And there's Bill's channel is going in the chat right now. There we go.
Yeah. There we go.
Just start, because you never know. You could be the next. Who knows?
Yeah. And that's what this next month is all about. This is a kickoff episode for a month of all of this, and this is how it's going to work. I tell everybody how it's going to work.
Yes.
Yes. Every weekday from Monday through Friday, there's going to be an episode that comes out at 1 p.m. Pacific, same time as this live session. And for the first showing, it's going to be a premiere, so you can start learning YouTube tools. It's a premiere, which means for the first showing, there's a live chat, and I will be there for the live chat. So if it's another one of these little communities that pops up and then just disappears. So it's kind of fun. So be there. at 1 p.m. Pacific, and I'll be there in the chat, and we can talk about the episode as it's happening and as we watch it for the first time. And if you integrate that in, then we watch the next one, and we can have this little community going on while the episodes are playing. So that's the kind of fun thing that we can do on YouTube.
And what time is it, Bill?
It's 1 p.m. Pacific time every day. So
I'm gonna try to pop into as many as I can as well.
Yeah, and of course the video is available from now until the end of eternity. After that, you just don't have the live chat. And as this goes on, first of all, there is a newsletter that you can sign up for, and I'll put it in the description of this video. Actually, maybe I should. I'll put it in, and I'll have it in the description of all the other videos. We'll get my act together a little bit better here. And so we're going to have a newsletter where we can talk about it. And I'll be starting a Reptile Entrepreneur paid community. So there's going to be a space if you want to, you know what, I'm going to put this in. I don't have a landing page on this, but I'll put it into the studio. If you guys are interested in a space, you're really serious about becoming, starting this YouTuber, you can go to this space, and that's where it's a little bit of an incubator, where we're going to seriously discuss how to do it, go through the steps. You can come here for advice, brainstorming, and encouragement and accountability. And we already have a nucleus of people doing it. And so you can go there. It is on a paid platform. It's a professional platform. And so it's a paid community, enjoy, check it out if you want to do this. And also if you just want to support my outreach. So it's kind of like a Patreon.
Which you should.
Yeah. You can support me by signing up for this community, even if you don't want to be part of the community. So this is what I'm doing instead of Patreon. So, okay. Let's see. We have some people coming on saying they enjoy. And
Joanne, please say hi to Ricky for me.
All right, everybody. Thank you very much for joining here, Fadi. It's wonderful having you. And people,
thank you very much for having me.
We'll see you tomorrow at 1 p.m. Pacific on Misty Forest Dragons.
Thanks, everyone.
Everybody.